Fellas, there is a president in Africa that I want you to know about. If you are African American, Caribbean, diaspora, or even African, I want you to remember that today, I want you to remember this person. If you don't know him, you're going to discover him. If you know him, I want you to remember this person for who he was, who he truly was. Why? Because this person marked the hearts of many, many people by showing everybody that the reason why Africa is not moving forward, it's not because of lack of resources. It's because of lack of brains and lack of morality. Africa is everything. Humans, resources, money, lands, and all of it. Why are we not living like paradise already? John Pombe Magufuli, former president of Tanzania. You need to find out about this person. What's up, everybody? I hope you're doing good. It's a beautiful day. Thank you very much for stopping by. You appreciate it. Let's get in time. We're not going to waste time today. My name is Zack. You already know. Salute you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. We want you here. We like you here. This is family. If you're from the diaspora, you're from everywhere in the world, this is where you want to be. You want to know about the continent? You're at the right place. We appreciate you. Thank you for stopping. Before we start, let's click on the button, subscribe, so we can see each other every single day. Okay, let's go. John Pombe Magufuli. I'm going to give you 10 things that this person did, and you can pull up your own conclusion about his personality. Generally in Africa, every African country has a date to celebrate its independence because all African nations except Ethiopia and Liberia were colonized. We were all colonized. Now, every African nation has a date that celebrates the liberation of the nation, Independence Day. Now, Tanzania has an independence date. On that day, they have big celebration, big party. They spend a lot of money. When John Magufuli came into power, he said, on this date, we are not partying. There will be no party today. As long as Tanzanian people are dying of cholera, we are not having the party. Let's take the millions of dollars. We were just about to have a party, dance, and do all that stuff, and cheat on our wives. Let's build a road coming from Morocco to Mwenge. John Pombe Magufuli, instead of wasting the money that doesn't necessarily belong to him, it's money for government, money for the people. He could have just wasted it. He said, we are not having a party. There is no independence celebration today because our people are still being unalived with cholera. And at the time, it wasn't like 1,000 people unaliving with cholera. It was less than 100 people. He shocked everybody with that move. Obviously, when you do things like this, some people like you, a lot of people don't like you. John Pombe Magufuli, a president of the republic, went to the street to clean the street. Yes. Descended in the street with the humans, with the people, say, come, let's clean our city. Let's clean our country. Nobody's going to do it for us if we don't do it. It is our responsibility. Look at the level of humility. You find Africans, like in general, when he becomes a director or something, he doesn't even carry his own bag anymore. He must have somebody to carry the bag, somebody to carry the cell phone, somebody behind it to just, it's crazy, somebody to open the door of the car. Yeah, that's just in many African nations, especially Nigeria, we're talking Congo, it's crazy. Too big for the reality they're living in. This president of the Republic of Tanzania went in the streets to clean with his hand. Now, there are no bad people. There are only bad leaders. There are no bad population. There are only bad leaders. The population can only be a reflection of the leader. The leader sets the mark, the tone, the attitude of the people. It's like children. Children in a house can only grow to be like their father. I'm sorry. Men copy their fathers. If father was absent, you will see it. I'm sorry. No, I don't mean to offend anybody. You're probably going to try to copy an uncle. If there was no uncle around, they're going to try to copy the most influential man in the neighborhood. That's how it goes. Same for the president. If the president behaves like a man that is up straight, people are going to behave the same. Magufuli banned all international trips for government officials.
Wako watu ambapo wakati wa bodi wanapoamua kukaa, wanaona hakuna hoteli yoyote hapa Tanzania ya kuweza kukaa wakati wa bodi, wanakwenda Ulaya kwa ajili ya bodi zao wanazokaa.
Yes, because government officials of Africa, they just go Switzerland, Colombia, America. Yeah, what is he doing? Nothing. It's just politics. It's crazy. Wasting money unnecessarily. He said, no government official is to travel internationally. It's over. If you need to travel internationally and it's very, very, very necessary, what you're going to do is you need to speak to him directly, get an authorization, or speak to his second. For whichever situation regarding our country in a foreign land, let's use the ambassador. Okay, so if people in Italy want something to do with Tanzania, let the ambassador in Italy deal with the issue. Isn't that why we have the ambassador? Well, let me tell you something. In most African countries, people of government who don't mean anything, they will travel, they will just go. I'm on a government trip. But what did he do? He did nothing. He just stood there watching. Magufuli banned that. saving the country so much money. The money could allocate to other important things of the country. On the 31st October 2015, 50 Tanzanians were supposed to go on a Commonwealth event. Magufuli reduced it to 4. So 50 people were supposed to travel from Tanzania to this overseas country. Magufuli said you only need 4 people on the street, not 50. Now let me put it this way for you. In many African countries, when you have an event, or let me say an athletic event happening in London, okay, and they need, let's say, 12 athletes to go and do whatever competition it is. You know what happens? They probably take 2 athletes and the rest of the people, it's the director of the commission, the director of the Ministry of Sport, his cousin, his nephew. Yeah, that's what they do. That's Africa for you. Or some random dude from the neighborhood who paid the money so he can access the team and go overseas. Yes. And when they get there, they run away. They don't go back to Africa. Only 2 athletes out of 12. That's the reality. And very similar thing was about to happen in Tanzania, where Magufuli said, no, you don't need 50 people to go to this trip. 4 is more than enough. 4 is what you need. Everybody. That's President Magufuli. Magufuli banned first-class trips for government officials. No more first-class trips. If you are authorized to travel overseas or to go to another country, to go to another continent, you are not flying first class. Because if the airplane takes off, everybody takes off. So if you land, both the people of first class and third class will land. So no need for you to spend too much money. Well, the country still needs money to build hospitals and roads for you to travel in style. None of that. But doing that, he saved Tanzania of millions of dollars. And guess who hated him for that? The people hated him for that. Magufuli banned all the eatings among government meetings. You know, generally, when government officials have meetings, they snacks, food, drinks and stuff. Yeah, he banned that. We don't need that. There are even individuals that take tenders for that. So by tender, I mean they go sign with the government. Like, if you guys have an event, I'm going to bring the food. I get paid for that. If you have an event, I'll bring the drinks. I'll make sure everything. You get paid for that. Government spends a lot of money in that. And sometimes people will give the tender to their family members and they will inflate the amount, whether they perhaps only needed, let's say, $100, just a stupid example. They will say, we need $10,000 to do this event. Magufuli say, you don't need to come eat here. The reason why you're in government is not for you to come eat in offices. Eat at your house before you come to the event. You're not coming to the event to eat, because the bottom line is, you guys are coming here, you're eating, you're drinking, you're not doing the job. You should do the job. That was Magufuli for you. Magufuli went to Muhimbili Hospital to visit. Muhimbili Hospital is one of the biggest hospitals in Tanzania. He went to this hospital to visit. He didn't say that he was going to visit. You know, one of those visits when you just show up, you don't announce, you just show up. President is coming. The president is... Yeah, that's how crazy it was. He went to the hospital because he heard stories. He noticed that many things were not functioning. The hospital was dirty. The MRI scan were not functioning. Many of the equipment were dead. And there was no report for that. And again, he knew that there was a fund where money was kept with the goal of making sure everything's functional 24 hours, 7 days per 7. But it wasn't functional. The place was dirty. So what they're trying to do is they try to take him to an area that's clean, you know, and he said, no, I don't want to go this way. Take me this way. And because he's a doctor in chemistry, yes, Pikama Coffee, yeah. Doctor in chemistry, he knew exactly where to go, what to do. Magufuli fired the boss of the hospital. That doctor was fired. He appointed different people. He gave those people 3 weeks to fix the hospital. He said, I'm giving you 3 weeks to fix everything. And in 3 days, they fixed everything. That's Magufuli for you. The Tanzanian parliament had planned 300 million shillings, I'm not sure how much that is in dollars, for a celebration. He said, no, we don't need 300 million. We're going to use 25 million out of the 300 million. The rest, we're going to use it to buy bed for hospital. What they ended up doing was they bought 300 beds for an hospital and 600 bed covers. Imagine. You have money to spend. He said, no, let's not spend this money. We can only spend small. Let's take the rest of the money, buy 300 beds for our hospitals and 600 covers for the bed. You see, Africa doesn't need people that are smart. Because smart is what you call getting degrees. Degree don't set a human being. Human beings that Africa need right now are human with good morality. Because humans that are smart, unfortunately, are using that whatever smart you call to steal. I mean, look at these countries like Congo. It's a failed country. Look at countries like Cameroon. It's a failed country. Look at Somalia. It's a failed country. It's unbelievable what these people do. They will enrich their pockets, their stomach. They will spend the money they could have been spending on building schools and roads and stuff. They will spend that money for themselves. Unbelievable. Magufuli reduced the ministry department from 30 to 19. So you see ministries, you know, Ministry of Health, Ministry of Forest, Ministry of Energy. There were 30. He slashed them down to 19. He said, we don't need all that. We just need things that are valuable, that are meaningful right now. We don't need to waste money. That's a president for you. he saw 11 ministry useless. You know, in some countries, yeah, people create ministry so they can make money. Ministry of intelligence, ministry of support for the president, ministry of siblings of the president. Yeah. Ministry of washing the clothes of the wife of the president. Yeah. Ministry of the household of the president. Ministry of detecting who doesn't like the president. I'm telling you, the people get money every single day for it. And you're shocked when Trump called you shithole countries. These are shithole countries. Well, Magufuli, unfortunately, did not live to show the full of his ability. He transformed Tanzania within 5 years of government, transformed completely the country, build road, build hospitals, build market. Tanzania is one of the most flourishing country under the hand of Magufuli when he was in power. Magufuli stood against the idea of COVID. You remember that thing? Yes, he didn't want it for his people.
There are some Tanzanians who recently travelled abroad in search of coronavirus vaccines. These people brought the virus into our country when they returned. Let us stand firm. This vaccine is not good at all.
Because at the time he said, how come we've been testing many things, they all come positive to COVID? How do you explain that? They took a dog, tested the mucus of a dog, it tested positive. They took papaya, slices and took the liquid, tested positive to cough. He said, no, it doesn't make sense. How come all these was like, but they took a rabbit, tested it, tested positive. He said, no, something is wrong here. And you know, with that, they started saying negative about him, say he's making people suffer, he's anti-opposition, he's not a good, yeah, there was a campaign. And very shortly after, I actually traveled from where I was to Tanzania to stay during that time, because Tanzania was one of the only countries that was open in spite of the situation. They were open, they were functional. Countries were on lockdown, Tanzania was open, they were partying, we were in nightclubs. Yeah, I don't even go to clubs, but it was insane. And a lot of people from Europe went to Tanzania at that time. Shortly after, he was unalive. Now you tell me, he just was unalive by chance. John Pombe Magufuli, doctor. God bless.